Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Mary Murray Shelton, the community spiritual leader here, and you are very welcome. Whoever you are, wherever you may be on your pathway of faith, you're welcome here. And we're glad that you're with us this morning. We're coming to the end of the month of May now, and the theme for the month has been a holy, holy uprising. Holy as in completely holy uprising. And today, being the day before Memorial Day, the topic is remembering, honoring, and speaking their names. So this will be kind of a semi-sweet, tender morning for us all. And I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. If by chance we did not get the photo that you sent for some reason, or you forgot to send one of a loved one, I just want you to know that this is all-inclusive memory today. So for everybody's relatives, animal companions, friends who have passed, we honor them all and we remember them. The names we speak and share will be for all of them. So we have a special guest with us this morning. Lisa Bell is our morning guest artist, and Francine Huss, the author of Think Better, Live Better, is our morning prayer practitioner. And I want to tell you a little bit about Lisa before she begins. Lisa is another one of Karen Drucker's great friends from the Positive Music Awards. Lisa has performed as the opening act for the JVC Winter Park Jazz Festival on the same bill as Christopher Cross and Boney James. She also played as the opening act twice for guitar great Stanley Jordan, as well as for Alita Adams, and has been featured on Jazz on the Tracks performances aboard scenic trains throughout the Rocky Mountains. She performs across the country at all sorts of venues, including at Unity and Centers for Spiritual Living churches, and all over the world, in fact, with her original music. Lisa's intention is to create music that is transformational and empowering. So for nearly 15 years, she's been writing songs that make a difference through the lyrics, those inspiring lyrics. So please listen to the lyrics. She shares her music and message all around the world, and this morning she's sharing it with us. So let's welcome Lisa Bell.
Thank you. Often blinded by the baggage of our history, trying to keep us in our place. Reliving moments, better love, let go of misery. Change the rules we can embrace. One face, one race, una faccia, una razza, we are all the same beneath. One face, one race, una faccia, una razza, abbraccia la diversità. Our place in time is just a momentary fantasy in this illusion we call life. So come with me, wipe away this inhumanity. Together we can make it right. One face, one race, una faccia, una razza, we are all the same beneath. One face, one race, una faccia, una razza, abbraccia la diversità. Joy, gioia, peace, pace, love, amore. But all that ain't all that if we don't start to embrace. One face, one race, una faccia, una razza, we are all the same beneath. One face, one race, una faccia, una razza, abbraccia la diversità. have a dream where there ain't no room for ignorance. Everyone will have a choice. The only power be the power to make a difference. Sing it out as if one voice, one face, one race. We are all the same beneath. One face, one race. La diversità. Gotta bring joy, gotta bring peace, love, una faccia, una razza. Gotta bring joy. We're all the same, one face, one race, una faccia, una razza. We are all the same beneath. Oh, love, joy, peace, love. Let the love flow with the grace of God. Let the change come through me. As we grow, we build a strong community. Let me realize the beauty in everything I see. Let the love flow through me. Let the joy flow with the grace of God. Let the change come through me. As we grow, we build a strong community. Let me realize the beauty in everything I see. Let the joy flow through me. Let the peace flow with the grace of God. Let the change come through me. As we grow, we build a strong community. Let me realize the beauty in everything I see. Let the peace flow through me. Let the love flow with the grace of God. Let the change come through me. As we grow, we build a strong community. Let me realize the beauty in everything I see. Let the love flow through me. Let the love flow through me. Let me realize the beauty in everything I see. Let the love flow through me.
And let us go within. Close your eyes if you like. I invite you to turn inward. And just allow our attention to go to that which is greater than this moment. That one life that we call God. That power and that presence that is in and through and alive everywhere. This life that is infinite
with no beginning and no end, interwoven through each part of life, expressing through each part of life, in the form and the formless. There is nothing that ever gets in the way of this life's movement and expansion in God's way of expressing forth more and more love in and through all that is created and all that is yet to be. I know that I am one with this life, and so is each person here today, each person on the planet, each person that has come before and shall come. We are all this life expressing. And I know that in this day of remembering and honoring those who have gone before, we invite the grace of God to show us how each and every one has blessed us, has invited us, has represented God itself in our lives, offering truth, offering transformation. We remember the blessings that have been and the blessings that continue still, even in this moment, for God's life has no end, and the life of each expression has no end. I call forth a shift in consciousness, an opening for each one of us to expand our idea of remembering, to allow remembering to be full of life. I call forth an opening for each of us to expand our idea of remembering to be inclusive of all people, whether we have known or unknown, to see and become aware of that beautiful tapestry of life that allows each person to leave their mark, bring their blessing, that touches all of us, whether we are aware or not, whether we knew or not. I call forth this shift to know that even now, the expression of God through each one of us blesses others who think of us fondly, who are affected by our light, who are illuminated and inspired by us, to include ourselves in this honoring. And as this expands us into a greater understanding, a greater consciousness of oneness, we see the pattern that is uninterrupted of life itself. And so I give thanks for this expansion, this understanding. I give thanks, for all the ways that this service today shall illuminate us even further with the beautiful music, the beautiful words, the beautiful gathering of all of us in community at this time, in this perfect place. I know that everything each one of us seeks and is inspired by is brought to us in this time together. The perfect thing we all need for a greater truth that sets us free. I know that it is all God right here, right now, in our present moment, in our thoughts, in our memories. And I release this to that law that brought us together, that law that speaks its word, it sings its song. I release it knowing that it is all expanding and transforming each and every one of us in this moment. It is all good. And so it is.
daydreams all around us, but those ways and means still confound us. Can't move without a safety net. If there's a way, can't see it yet. Lost among the things as we get older, while our passions slowly start to smolder. We can make it past the fear, but we've gotta take the time to make it clear. Meet me in the space between, where words are just formalities, where we can learn to trust the voice within. Meet me where the worlds collide, where the fragile veil is cast aside, so we can see the future coming in. In the echoes of conversation is where we find our true obligation. We were never meant to stay the same, stuck here on the surface to remain. Meet me in the space between, where words are just formalities, where we can learn to trust the voice within. Meet me where the worlds collide, where the fragile veil is cast aside, so we can see the future coming in. Looking through the cracks, never knowing there's a door. I still don't know the how, but I'm ready to explore. 'Cause I want more, give me more. Yeah, I want more, searching for more. So meet me in the space between, where words are just formalities, where we can learn to trust the voice within. Meet me where the worlds collide, where the fragile veil is cast aside, so we can see the future coming in. Let's bring it here.
Thank you, Lisa. Yes, I'm thinking about her phrase in the song, I want more. And it reminds me of this story that a mother with three very unruly little children was asked by somebody once if she had it to do over again, whether or not she'd have children. And she said, oh, yes. Not the same ones, of course. I want more. but maybe better at the same time. You know, as one of the things that I say to people in funerals and memorials is that in order to do honor to the person who has passed, we want to remember the whole person. We want to remember their triumphs and their failures, their joys and their sorrows, what we loved about them and what inspired us and what frustrated us and made us mad. You know, all of the experience of another human being, embracing it all, remembering it all. That's the true honoring of the uniqueness of that being. And so today we're talking about remembering, honoring, speaking their names. So, who is it we remember? And who is it that we forget? It seems to me that we remember those who have had an impact on us, those who mattered to us, those who linger in our awareness. They're important to us. And those we forget, or those moments we forget, were not as important to us, even though someone else may remember that experience or that person. Sometimes we don't remember a person or a situation or something that they did because they are hidden somehow. Their achievements, their accomplishments are hidden somehow, maybe to control the narrative, or they're undervalued because of cultural blindness or ignorance or unawareness. And so when we say their names, we truly begin to bring back into our awareness and back into the collective awareness the value of somebody's contribution. George Orwell said, "The most effective way to destroy people is to deny and obliterate their own understanding of their history." And we know there's been a lot of that done over the course of history by the conquerors, whoever they were at the time. Melville Miller Jr. said, "Among many oppressed cultures in America, it is a sign of respect and honor to call people by their full given names," like the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We do so to bear witness, to remember, to respect, to remind, to educate, and ultimately press to terminate violence and murders. And Gonzaga University printed something that said, in short, when we say their name, may we connect to their humanity. So I want to read the names to you of 38 people of color who were killed in 2020. 3 of them by civilians. One of them, no one knows who killed this little boy, and the rest by police officers. Mike Lee, Darius Tarver, William Green, Jakin O'Neill Light, Lionel Morris, Ahmaud Arbery, Manuel Ellis, Barry Gideus, Breonna Taylor, Daniel Prude, Stephanie Taylor, Cornelius Fredericks, Maurice Gordon, George Floyd, Deion Johnson, Tony McDade, Calvin Horton Jr., James Scurlock, David McAtee, Jamel Floyd, Kamal Flowers, Robert Forbes, Priscilla Slater, Rashard Brooks, Maurice Abistid Wagner, Julian Lewis, Anthony McLean, Damian Daniels, Dijon Kizi, Kurt Reinhold, Jonathan Price, Walter Wallace Jr., Kevin Peterson Jr., Kawan Charles, Aidan Ellison, Casey Goodson Jr., Benny Edwards, Duante Wright. Each one of these names holds a history, holds relatives, friends, holds achievements, successes, and failures was beloved by someone. Each one of them. We don't know them, but we can call their names out. We can remember that each one of them is a divine child of God, important and worthy of being remembered. Margaret Walker says the poetry of a people comes from the deep recesses of the unconscious, the irrational, and the collective body of our ancestral memories. And Shirley Abbott said, we all grow up with the weight of our history in us. Our ancestors dwell in the attics of our brains, as they do in the spiraling chains of knowledge hidden in every cell of our bodies, in our DNA. So when we choose to remember, let's take a moment to choose to remember people who have contributed to our lives, our ancestors, our family members, our mentors, our teachers, the lineage of our teachers in our spiritual awakenings and discoveries, and those who have died for a cause, intentionally or unintentionally, those who died of AIDS, those trans people who have been killed, people who are immigrants or refugees or abandoned children, those who have passed as martyrs to a particular way of awakening humanity and a culture to our shared humanness. You know, if you have surgery, they can't tell the difference inside your body. If you couldn't see the outside, you wouldn't know what race that person was, what gender, what religion, what history. We wouldn't know, because on the inside, as Lisa's saying, we're all the same beneath. We're all the same. And so what we want, what we look forward to, is a way of really remembering, really remembering. We see that the stories we remember most often are the stories of people who are valued by the storytellers. When I tell family stories, I tell some of the same ones over and over again to my son or to my grandson or to anybody who will listen. Because as those stories get told, the memory of that person, the flavor of that person comes through. Sometimes when someone has been undervalued or left out of a family narrative or of a historical narrative, as Amy Green says, it's not forgetting that heals, it's remembering. And so what are the stories that we're telling? Last week, I talked about the stories we tell about ourselves and thinking about the importance of creating a new story that's empowering. But what about just remembering the stories of our ancestors, the stories of the people that we love, the stories of the people who taught us something, who shared something valuable with us, who were worthy of memory because they were funny or annoying or brilliant or eccentric. So how then? How do we remember them? How do we share these stories? Sometimes we do it like this with Memorial Day, by some kind of an annual remembrance. Sometimes we do research, like genealogy research. I love finding written stories about family members that went on to the next adventure of life long before I was born. I love discovering the ancestral lines and what was in them. Sometimes that research yields a richer sense of self and of story. Or we do rituals that remind us. In many traditions in the world, and still in contemporaneous countries in Africa and in the United States, people pour libations. They pour libations of rice in Asian countries, of some kind of alcohol in African or American traditions, and they say the name of those who have passed. It is an honoring, a nourishing, a remembering. I remember when I first received a Zuni fetish, I was told that the tradition says that you place this someplace and every day you sprinkle cornmeal around it as a libation, you might say, as an honoring of the spirit of that particular creation, of the spirit that it represents. And I think it's of our own spirits. So we carry forward and keep things from family members that we want to remember. We might have mementos or artifacts or souvenirs or inherited pictures that we keep. In Canada, when we lived in Canada, in November, there is Remembrance Day. And Remembrance Day is in honor of those who were killed in World War I. And people wear paper poppies on Remembrance Day, even though probably very few of us know anyone who participated in World War I. People remember that time, and it is remembered through the wearing of the poppies, the annual remembrance. And so we find that in the book of Hebrews, which, and this is interesting, we do not know who wrote the book of Hebrews. Not really. Because there is a reference to someone who is getting out of prison soon in Hebrews. It's assumed that it was written by St. Paul, this letter to the Hebrews, but no one actually knows. So in chapter 13 in Hebrews, it says, keep on loving one another as brothers and sisters. Do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by doing so, some people have shown hospitality to angels without knowing it. And continue to remember those in prison as if you were together with them in prison, and those who are mistreated as if you yourselves were suffering. In other words, remember that other as yourself. Remember that other as yourself, as one of us, as a part of us. And so today is our day of remembering those who are very dear to us, those who have been specifically named by friends and relatives and loved ones. Their pictures were sent to me over this past week or so with information about them and who they were to the person sending the photo, so that these could be shared and remembered. So as I said at the beginning of the service, as I prepare to share this now, the people that are shown and named here are representative of everyone we love who has passed in this year.
Remember me in the melting snow. Remember me in the river's flow. Look for me in the mountains tall, for I am part of it all. Hear me in the wind as it blows. I'm in the scent of its lovely rose. Feel my warmth in the shining sun, for I am all and all is one. For I am everywhere and I have always been here since time began. I am, and I will never leave you, for I am your friend. Just look inside inside your heart and take my hand. Remember me in the cloud-filled sky. I'm in each tree as it reaches high. I'm in every grain of sand, every raindrop small. Yes, I am part of it all. Look for me in each other's eyes and hear my voice in a baby's cries. Feel my touch as you help someone, for I am all and all is one. For I am everywhere and I have always been here since time began. Just look inside your heart and take my hand. Remember me when you can't go on. Think of me when all hope is gone. When you're all alone and no one seems to care, I will always be there. For I am everywhere and I have always been here since time began. Just look inside your heart. Just look inside your heart and take my hand. Remember me. Remember me. Remember me. Remember
So, dear ones, I want to remind us of this from our founder, Ernest Holmes, who wrote in Help for Today. The power to think, remember, sense, taste, feel, love, appreciate is precisely the same in others as in you. Therefore, we can and must affirm there is one life. That life is God. That life is my life now. In doing this, we create a new environment for good that operates in everything we do and causes us to receive a new response from everyone we meet. So let's take that into our hearts. Before we do the affirmation together, I'd like to say a prayer, and I invite you to join me in this. If you put your hands on your heart, there is only one. It is reflected and expressed in everything and everyone that is. This one is love. It is peace. It is joy and creativity. It's everywhere in everything, revealing itself as we open our eyes and our hearts to see and to feel it. We look through distressing appearances to the deeper truth of that presence of love, looking out through the eyes of everyone, every creature that we encounter. We are blessed by the presence all around us everywhere, revealing itself in abundance. And so we attune our awareness to that presence and allow it to flood our beings with love, allowing us to heal, to remember, to embrace, and to celebrate all the great gifts that we've been given from everyone who has come before. We are deeply grateful for these gifts, and we remember. So I let this prayer go knowing that we are uplifted and made whole in this remembering and knowing. I let it go to the law, where it is known and accomplished and done right here and right now. And so it is. And so, my dears, now I'm going to invite you to join me in the morning affirmation, which you're going to see on your screen right now. Please say this with me. I honor and remember the stories of those who came before. I receive the good and heal what's left behind. Let's say that together again. Think about what this means as we say it. I honor and remember the stories of those who came before. I receive the good and heal what's left behind. And so on this wonderful Sunday, the day before Memorial Day, here we are in this process and practice of remembering and celebrating. And so I'd like to honor and bless every single gift that's been given to Golden Gate, including those that are being given this morning. And that is gifts of prayer, of service, financial gifts. I'm going to post in the comments section of this Facebook video today the texting number. If you would like to text to make a donation, you can do that. And just put in the number, not the $sign or the decimal point, just the number of what you want to give. Send it to that number, text it to that number, and we will receive it. But let's now bless all the gifts we've received this week, individually and at Golden Gate, and all the gifts we've given this week into the world by saying this. This gift I give. Repeat it after me. This gift I give is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love. One heart and one thought at a time, beginning here with me and mine. And so it is. Thanks, dear hearts. Now I have a few quick announcements for you. First of all, I have a wonderful community service opportunity. Some of the Leadership Council and I went to the San Francisco Marin Food Bank in San Rafael this past week, or a week or two maybe, and worked in the warehouse for a couple of hours. The volunteer periods only last for a couple of hours, and we have the possibility of going again this coming Tuesday, but everybody has to be registered today. So I want to invite you to send an email today to Ellen Nicosia, our treasurer, and she is going to go ahead and register people who want to come on Tuesday for that volunteer session. And so what you want to do is you want to send your email to Ellen Nicosia. Her last name is Nicosia @gmail.com. Ellen Nicosia @gmail.com. Let her know that you want to participate in this week's sacred service at the SF-Marin Food Bank, and you will meet and help in the warehouse, wear layers and wear closed-toed shoes, and you'll get all the details in your email. But do that, and you can begin our community service kickoff for this year with those other volunteers. Also, the summer festival retreat for all of Centers for Spiritual Living, called SOAR, will be online this year on Friday and Saturday, August 13th and 14th. Early bird registration is going to begin on June 1st, so that's just in a couple days. And it's $99 until July 15th, and then the price goes up. So I'll let you know next Sunday what the website is, but you can always look for SOAR, SOAR, Centers for Spiritual Living, and you'll find that website after June 1st. And I feel like I am in the midst of a grand adventure here, because my birthday is coming up on Friday this week. My grandson's birthday is on Father's Day. So we're celebrating my generation, my son's generation, his father, and my grandson, the next generation. And so we're all having June celebrations, which I think is pretty fun. I want to invite all of you to join us for the coffee hour and conversation immediately following the service, just a few minutes afterwards. I've put the information for that in the comments section this morning, so you can come and find us. And I want to thank you all for being with us. Right now, we're going to enjoy this wonderful closing music. And so I want to bring back Lisa for the closing.
Thank you. It's been great being here with all of you. Searching for the black and white, but missing all the hues. Accents are the spice of life, though rarely do we choose. Caught up in the moment, is it right or is it wrong? If we focus on the present, we'll find the place where we belong. The road is always longer if you're searching for the end. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger if those lessons we befriend. Past is not the future, it can't define us, don't you know? Let it go, let it slide, keep on grooving on the inside. Pushing past the limits in the outer banks, we'll see the beauty steeped within it as we struggle to break free. Picture ever changing as we twist and turn the view. There's a brilliance overhanging when we look at life anew. The road is always longer when we're searching for the end. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger if those lessons we befriend. The past is not the future, it can't define us, don't you know? So let it go, let it slide and keep on grooving on the inside. Never stand outside the shine. It's in that essence we define. In our truth will be defined. To ourselves we must be kind, and we'll find a peace of mind. Road is always longer when we're searching for the end. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger if those lessons we befriend. But the past is not the future, it can't define us, don't you know? So let it go, let it slide and keep on grooving. Gotta keep on grooving, gotta keep on grooving. On the inside. Gotta keep on, keep on, keep on grooving. Oh, gotta keep on, keep on, keep on grooving. Keep on, ooh, keep on grooving on the inside.
Yes.
Thank you.
Keep on grooving on the inside. Lisa, thank you so much for bringing your wonderful music for us this morning. We've really enjoyed it.
Thank you
Have
so
a
much for having
most
me.
wonderful weekend. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this morning. We are delighted. I hope that you have a fabulous Memorial Day. Be safe, and do come and join me for the coffee and conversation time following the service. All right? Everybody have a great day. We love you. Bye.